was your guys' Merry Christmas, dude?
Fabulous. Good
Was it
family
amazing?
time. Yeah.
Good. Sucks being sick.
Were you
But,
sick?
Yeah, I heard you were too.
I was like sick for 4 days.
Yeah, it sucks.
Missed her
Sucks.
birthday on the 23rd, and then missed Christmas in bed. And yeah, that was like fun times.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy good. You're in Roseburg. You got the strain too.
Yeah.
So everyone's freaking sick.
Yeah, my wife gave it to me. Thanks,
Beautiful,
baby.
man. Aw.
I've been dodging that bullet, but now that I got both you guys here at my shop.
And 2 strains
And,
from Albany
you know,
and
oh,
Roseburg.
yeah.
You guys can hug on screen.
It's okay,
I don't
it's okay.
understand why. You don't.
Fun. So,
Okay.
I got some FDA stuff I wanted to talk about today.
Is this
I don't
good
know.
news?
Good and bad. So I mean, not so much. It's always bad because it's FDA. But the news that I wanted to come across was the major issues as far as the deeming date. As far as we have to have our registration in, it was December 31st, 2016. They pushed that forward now. What do you guys? Was it February or June?
June.
It's in June.
Yeah, so we have some extra time for that. Some people don't even think they need to register at all because they are now moving into a tobacco-free nicotine.
Right.
And the FDA put out a thing that they're going to go ahead and say tobacco-free nicotine is not considered a tobacco product. However, anything that you make to become a vape product, an ends product per se, would be considered a tobacco product. So even a zero nicotine liquid made with zero nicotine whatsoever is still considered a tobacco product. So by them not deeming tobacco-free nicotine a tobacco product, that might help some way in like maybe the wholesale aspect possibly. But as far as us not having to register our products through the FDA or not having to go through those hoops because they're using TFN or tobacco-free nicotine is a major misconception. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't even have to do it now. We'll just switch our nicotine to a different base. And I've been hearing that a lot through the Vape community. And we need to clarify this.
Where's the info coming from?
So FDA, so the Center for Tobacco Products puts all kinds of deeming stuff out every single week. And you can actually sign up for their email, and they will pound you with 100 different notifications every day, from broccoli with salmonella, antibacterial soaps, all the stupid things that they decided to push through, but is bad. Oddly enough, on one of my FDA notifications that I got last week, I just wanted to share with you guys too. Chantix, which has led to almost in the hundreds of suicides. Chantix now, they made it okay and deemed it through the FDA, through actually a court case, that they don't have to put the warnings on the box anymore.
Oh my God.
Seriously, no, that
What
literally
were the warnings before?
that it can cause suicide and like all this major issues,
Right.
Yeah, anxiety.
The list
well,
goes
it was it wasn't even made to help you quit smoking. They just found it to be that was a counter product of it.
Right.
It was a residual of an
It wasn't meant
antipsychotic
to
drug.
be
No,
that.
it was
Yeah,
for
no.
people with major manic depressive episodes. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but
Fun
anyway,
times.
But anyway, so the FDA, you still need to register your products. It sounds like there's a lot of people doing it all at the same time. Some people's records are actually getting lost. They register, they have all their stuff done, and then you go back in there and you're waiting for your confirmation, and they have no idea who you were in the first place. So that's kind of scary when you're working, 180 hours competing, trying to get all of your information in.
That happened to me.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
So.
And I'm not sure. I don't want to double do it and find out that there's 2. I have 2 accounts now with the FDA. Like, who wants that?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out where I'm at with it, but I can't find me after we registered. So I'm looking into it this week, but I am totally bummed. But the good news is we already have everything. We already did it.
Yeah.
So we can go back and get it done. But if it's happening to me, it's got to be happening to a lot of people out there. And when they did the rollback and what you're talking about, that makes a lot of sense to me, because I don't think they're prepared to do any of this stuff. And I don't even think they have people on it working on it right now.
I think it's also got a lot to do with those big court cases going on right now. They're getting kind of caught up with their wordplay when they're being asked things in court. And,
Who's in court with them right now?
Gosh, I'm sorry, I really can't remember the name.
There's like
there's a bunch of big companies that are
there's like
actually
10,
suing
right?
them.
That are coming after him?
But they've been basically stepping over their words when they, about the whole what's nicotine, what's not, non-nicotine or no tobacco-derived nicotine. And so I think that's part of what's going to play. And of course, with Trump and everything coming into office, I think that things will keep kind of be changing slowly, hopefully for the better.
Do you think he's going to do something with to kill the FDA or anything like that?
I think that he will listen to people that are going to do something about it, such as maybe that the guy who's running for president. Ron Johnson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Libertarian dude.
Yeah, he's fighting hard in Wisconsin, I believe, for Wisconsin, but then also sending letters to the FDA telling them to stop what they're doing because basically everything that they're implementing is going to go right backwards because of the.
Wait, he's actually for vaping?
Yeah, he's
Johnson.
made a stance for vaping.
When did he do this?
Right as he was starting to run for president.
What?
Yes.
I never heard any of this
Really?
in his campaign or anything. I was wondering about that.
So
I think more vapors would have totally voted for him if they knew that he was actually.
yeah, I
doing
shared some posts on it before the president was even announced. So
it. Wow, that's cool.
The source of breakdown, the better the crowd. Like a Hellcat.
It's time for Jason's misconceptions.
it has nicotine in it. It must be deadly. False. CR nicotine isn't wrapped in ammonia and arsenic, therefore it's not deadly. Nicotine is a stimulant such as caffeine, and it's really not as addictive as you may think. Thoughts?
Yeah, I gotta say, when you can buy probably 25 different stimulants down at the local market, being under the age of 18, I can go pick up a Rockstar. I could pick up any number of little pills, the little Hornet guys. Those are also the horny goat weed. All those little things that you can buy at the stores with no regulation whatsoever. Major stimulants that are made to give you heart issues basically, and they know this. Nicotine is mild. It's almost in the same realm, I would say, as caffeine. And without the tar or the carcinogens, it's not even to be comparable. I mean, honestly, I think it's definitely not the same thing. Tobacco, nicotine with the tar kills you.
Well, yeah.
You know that. Like we said, we made that joke earlier. All these guys are standing up on stage saying, we know people have smoked cigarettes for 30 plus 40 years. We know it causes cancer, and these tobacco cigarettes are deadly. Now we have a product without that tar and without the carcinogens, and we just don't know. It could be worse. But what we took we took everything bad out of it, and
Right.
now we just don't know.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know. That's where I'm at on it.
I'm at a place where the other day I was getting a present for my wife, and it required me to take her car in, and I had to get a taxi. And I get in the taxi, and it smells like cigarette smoke inside there.
Yeah.
And the lady's kind of like talking to me, and I can pull up at my shop, and she goes, "Oh, you work here? I hear these things are worse than cigarettes." And I was just blown away. I was like, "Where did you hear that from?" And she said, "Her doctor."
Oh, of course.
Thanks, doc.
Right.
That's really cool. Man, if you were my doc, I'd slap you so damn hard. I don't know, man. It really bums me out because we do know where where it's not affecting us, where it used to affect us when we smoked.
Right.
So, and I have had tons of people coming in who have totally quit off of, vaping, but that's after they've quit smoking.
Right.
So, and I don't see it anywhere near as a cigarette would affect people, and I have time and time, you have customers that are coming in years now that haven't been affected by anything in the vape.
They feel amazing.
And they feel, 95 to 90% better, I guess is a safe word to use, but I would say about 100% better than they did when they were smoking. So there are people out there, in my opinion, that will always smoke,
Well, yeah.
and there are people, I know people that have been 15 years on the gun. So, chewing the fucking gum.
But
you know
that's
what I mean?
FDA approved and safe with nicotine in it.
Well,
I
think part of that misconception too, when that taxi cab driver says, I hear it's worse. She was probably a cigarette smoker.
She is a cigarette smoker.
She probably has been approached by people that have quit smoking with a vaporizer, and that was her thing. I've heard some people go, I took one drag and it affected me. So,
like messed up my ass.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I know people that they'll walk into a vape shop that literally doesn't even have vape and act like it burns their eyes. But it's just it's really and and at first it kind of offended me. I'm like, are you serious? You blow out your face. You're like, dude, this is. Really, it's absolutely not.
It's
but
new to them.
but it's no, it's not that. It's they don't want to quit smoking yet, and so it's a justifiable excuse. And if it's something that doesn't make means to an end, then it's not a viable reason to quit. And so they can put those little things out there. But she's probably struggling trying to quit smoking, and doesn't want to take that step. And it's a lot like alcoholism or anything else.
You know what? And I can honestly say that I was like that in like 2007, seeing a person with a little e-cig, and I made total fun of them, and I criticized, and I'm so sorry about that.
But you changed it around too. At least you can admit that, because most
Philip,
people.
I'm really sorry about that, dude. 2007, Valencia, you know who you are. Yeah.
Most people talk so much trash about it, like Joe said, that it gets to the point where, gosh, they can't actually quit because then they just look like a hypocrite. So it's not too late to change your mind.
Yeah.
That actually kind of brings me into our next misconception, which is vaping is a gateway to smoking. This is one of the ones that actually gets to me the most.
Oh my goodness.
I've been vaping for over 6 years. I've been in the industry for over 2, and I have never once seen one or heard of one person that has vaped or started vaping and never smoked and then went to cigarettes. Like, oh my gosh, I don't smell bad enough. I feel too good. Why don't I go back to something that's causing cancer because I want to die quicker? Not how it works.
I have to slightly disagree. In the last few years, I've had a couple of customers come in. I've never smoked before, but I've been out with my girlfriends these last few nights. Everybody's been smoking. I want to partake in it. Can I get a device with no nicotine? So I'm not, I want to partake in this stuff. We're going out. We're having a couple of beers. And, and then I've had other people come in and say, I've never smoked before. I just want to know what's going on with this vaping thing. And then, it's kind of a bad sales technique, but I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I was a slave to tobacco for 20 years. This helped me, to move off that step, but it's why would you do that if you're not addicted to anything at all? You're not stuck into the cycle of. I'm a creature of habit. If I'm have never been a smoker, but they do. They come in here. There's been a few. I would say less than 1%.
Jason, are you talking about people going back to smoking?
Going back to smoking.
People who have never smoked who start vaping and then go to cigarettes.
Okay, now
that's what I meant.
These are people that have never smoked.
Yes.
That decided to choose to vape, which is like a 1% of people that come in here. I don't know anybody that's quit, of those people that they never wanted to smoke cigarettes in the first place, and they're not smoking cigarettes now. Now, people that do come in here that try to quit smoking, they go back and forth all the time.
Right.
But it's not something that's at all going to be a gateway, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not.
I don't think it's going that way at all. Like, I don't think this is a gateway into smoking cigarettes. I think there are people that smoke cigarettes and get onto vape. And sometimes, like, I've had it in the summertime for some reason. A lot of people in the summertime. And it's usually younger people in their 20s, I'd say late 20s. I haven't felt the conditions of smoking for 20 years yet.
Right.
And they'll go back to smoking maybe for the summertime because they're more outdoors and
Friends
doing
are
a lot of
doing
stuff. They're in the water a lot. And then there's other people that are a little bit older. They don't even check out. They stay with vaping or they quit vaping. And I've seen them go from 18s to 12s to 6s to freaking 3s to 1.5s to freaking 0s.
Walking right away from it.
And so I think I see that, but I have never met anyone who just said, one time I vaped and then I decided to smoke.
Right.
I think I capped on that a little bit on the last episode too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a dead battery, no chance of getting my vape, a readily available cigarette, and had no inkling whatsoever to smoke it.
Nobody in their right mind is going to do that. So stop using that.
I mean, it's not about trying to, Well,
No, that's the where. That's where we go to these, to the Capitol when we're fighting for things. That's their big thing is it's leading kids to smoking cigarettes. That's where it comes from.
But This is where they get that information. This is where they get the information. Watch the Super Bowl. You see a blue e-cigarette commercial. You see a guy that's the new flippin' Marlboro man that's sitting there on the beach with his blue e-cig, you know, or the rainbow flavors, Skittles commercials. It's because these guys are not vapors. These are tobacco companies. And if they make us look really bad right now, and they make our whole industry look like we're child marketing, because they are, you know, they're making it look as stupid as possible and then paying money to make advertisements saying that we're doing it. You know, they're being duped. You know, I'm sorry, but big media has duped everybody, and it's working perfectly. We're not the big tobacco companies. We've never made a commercial. We don't, you know, do the Taste the Rainbow stuff on the, you know, on the Super Bowl. We don't have the new Marlboro Man. You know, we're not the new face of tobacco, and that's what they're trying to make it seem. Is we're trying to renormalize tobacco. That's not what we're doing, and that's not at all what's been going on. That's what they're trying to jump in and create this vaping industry, which we've already took over, and we're going to continue to take over if the government would notice what a vaporizer and an e-cig is and what the difference is.
I think the people know, and I think we give the other guys too much credit. On another note, on the Oregon Vape blog last week, I saw this guy.
Uh-oh.
Can you get that? Is he in there? Is he in the shot? Mm-hmm. Awesome. This guy contacted us.
Yeah.
We didn't really. I gave him a private message and let him know what I thought of what he said and gave him a little explanation. But we were talking about, and I know you're on his side. I know you're like a big fan and stuff, and I am too. I'm a big fan of his. I just kind of. I think we need to give him an apology, or do we need to explain to him?
Well, here's the deal. We wanted to rock the boat in our community, in the vape community. We're trying to get the word out. We're trying to be advocates in this. And there's a great movie, a beacon, a documentary that could be an eye-opening experience for anybody that watches it that doesn't have a grasp on what's going on in our situation.
From what I hear.
Now it's not. Yeah. And so we, in our blog, say, hey, somebody needs to pirate that video. Somebody needs to put it out there so that other people can see it.
I think that was you.
Whoa, that was me. Yeah, some guy, some beautiful dude with a beard was like, oh my gosh, you know, and we listened.
Nice beard.
And so he messaged us and he said, you know, that is a bad idea. That's only going to make it so that people in the vaping industry watch this video.
Right.
And my whole thought is, how can that be? That seems completely backwards because, you know, if we get it out where everybody can see it except for, you know, right now, you know, you can go to a small group of, you know, people in the vape community, get your neat little Billion Lives ticket, and all 9 of you can go down to the mall and watch it, you know, and that's really cool. All 9 of you guys are sitting out there, you know, sucking on your vape pens, you know, talking about how you're changing the world. But I'm sorry, I don't give a crap if you guys watch that flipping movie or not. You don't need to watch it. You already know what's going on. It's your grandma, it's your dad, it's your uncle that don't know what's going on, because if they knew, they would be down there at Vape Day on February 7th. They would be, you know, I mean, like, we need to spread this flipping movie out, you know? So I'm sorry, dude. We're pirating that stuff, dude. Somebody's going to get it.
Okay, I'm going to jump in real quick.
We're going to. It's
All
going
right,
to.
so
Jason's got something to say.
I'm going to come to his rescue real quick because what he is saying is if you pirate that movie, then it's out there.
Right.
Therefore, he can no longer hold these big
money.
events where he's actually bringing in senators and politicians and Hollywood stars and the big red carpet things that they're doing for that. I mean, it does take 100 people to show up for them to be able to have the movie in a theater right now. And so that's where we're supposed to step up and be like, hey, we want it in our town. Then we start inviting our friends and family and people that need to see the movie. So I never agree with pirating movies. You know, you're taking out of someone's pocket. They spent good money to make the movie. I get the frustration of we do need this to come out on DVD soon so more people can see it.
So
Oregon Vape Blog does not condone pirating
don't pirate anything.
Don't pirate the movie. However, somebody with dignity needs to make a better documentary and get it out to the people then, because he is obviously trying to make money more than trying to get his message out. And so that's sad, in my opinion. Sad.
I just want to go on to Netflix and so that normal people can see it.
No, it won't be on Netflix until we're all out of business. We go, man, do you remember the days when vaporizers were cool?
That could be the strategy, dude.
Hand me my Marlboro.
Come back to us, and now you know what we're saying a little bit and how we feel. You know, we just want this out there and to get in front of people that need to see it, and because we need the majority of the public, don't you think?
Yeah.
You know, and that's really the purpose.
We definitely need everybody to see it.
Yes.
Everybody should.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we implement a straw tax because you can make your hand Correct. And so when you find these flavors that work for you, it's the key component of getting yourself off of the cigarettes. Okay. Boom. Vape Day at the Capitol is not just for vapors. It's for every American that thinks that their government is taking our basic rights away one by one. Vape Day is for anybody that's been wronged by overtaxation and bad policies written by lobbyists and politicians making their choices based on who can pay them more. Vape Day is our chance for our voices to be heard. Big tobacco, big pharmaceutical companies are spending millions of dollars making fake associations, acting like they want to save the children, when in fact these agencies like Tobacco Free Kids get over $30 million annually from these tobacco companies as donations. In trade, these fake associations make false studies on teen vaping. Over 75% of the reports are pushing vaping to be treated like tobacco. The corruption runs so deep that people working for these agencies don't even know that they're helping big tobacco. Our government has been addicted to tobacco tax revenue and is now having withdrawals and found a way to steal it out of your family's pockets. Our government already takes over 30% of everything you'll ever make. Now they want to add a tax on a product with no reason other than to save the children, when in fact the items that they want to tax are saving millions of ex-smokers' lives and has not shown to cause cancer or have any major significant health issues. February 7th is for every Oregonian that is aware of the corruption and brave enough to stand up to say something. This is for every Oregonian that believes in a fair and accountable government and is willing to fight to get one back. No Shade November's been good to me, guys.
It's been really good.
It's been
It's really
November.
good to you. Yeah. So how many people we got registered?
You don't want to know, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Three pre-registration forms. Yeah, for Vape Day at the Capitol. 3. How many? I think there's a couple more vapors than that in Oregon.
Yeah.
Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, there's way more than 3, dude. Way more than 3.
And we've done about 8 posts. People are sharing them. People are liking them.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's actually registering or saying they're going to go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we got to make this easier. We got to figure
Or
out a way
clear
to
the
make
fact
this
of
easier.
why we need you to pre-register,
Yeah.
obviously. Because if we don't know who your senator or rep is, we can't make an appointment for you to meet your senator and rep.
Right.
And so, yeah. It's
I mean, I
ridiculous.
don't think it can get much easier than message the OVV page or message the NUPA page
Yeah.
or message us personally.
Mhm.
All we need is your name, your number, and where you live.
Yeah.
We'll do the rest.
Yeah.
And show up. Take the
And
day
show
off.
up, yeah.
February 7th, 9 o'clock. Show up. You've got
Yeah.
time. No reason not to be there. If you care. If you care
Yeah.
about vaping, be there.
Well, if you care, it's not just about vaping. I mean, like I was just talking about,
You're
you
right.
know, it's about anybody that, you know, I mean, we literally 30% of everything you make as an Oregonian goes to the government already. Okay, we just fought, you know, a tax on sales, which they were trying to do on everything all around the board. Well, right now they're trying to put another 95% tax on these products.
Right.
And
And they are strong on this, guys. They are really strong on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you. We were in the offices of No Say, and it was crazy.
He was receptive. He was
He was
listening.
receptive.
He honestly, I believe, has been
What
looking
happened?
at us like tobacco. If you care about just basic not getting taxed, basic not getting duped by your government, if you care about the thousands of people that have quit smoking, it doesn't have to be because you vape. It could be because you don't want to be taken advantage by your government anymore. How about that? We need to get out there and we need to show in numbers.
You know what? I'm just about seeing like 1,000 vapors at the Capitol. I would love to see that. That would just be so freaking
If
awesome.
we could get a giant jellyfish
It will
to
be
hit
televised.
Pioneer Man, jellyfish, just get a giant jellyfish hit Pioneer Man on the top, that big golden
Right.
guy on the top, that'd be perfect, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. It will be televised. There will be cameras there. The OVV will also be there as well. The Oregon Vape Blog, us, and the Northwest Vapor Association. Who else is going to be there? I know there's tons. The AVA,
Notblowingsmoke.org.
Yep, not blowing smoke.
Pink Lung Brigade.
They're
gonna be invited?
Possibly,
Okay.
possibly Alex Clark and Casa. Most likely
Pamela
Greg,
Gorman.
I think
She's getting the
I
invite.
think we're
Okay.
gonna invite her. Gregory Connolly should be there from American Vaping Association.
is the best.
president. Yeah. So thank you guys for showing up. It's gonna be huge. Seriously, you guys don't want to miss this for so many reasons.
So thanks for watching. That's the show. And if you like us, put a like on that. And please subscribe. Definitely register for Vape Day at the Capitol February 7th.